All right, welcome back to Turnbull Garage. So today we're actually going to have some Sambar content. Old Mighty Mo here is going to get an upgrade that's going to make things useful for me. As you know, we've been in here in this new house for about 3 months now. 4 months ago we bought this house, and with it comes a very long, very steep driveway. And with winter coming and the snow, we don't get a lot of snow here, but when it does come, it can be a lot. So I need a snowplow. So I am going to be going to a local parts place. I'm buying an ATV snowplow blade and somehow rig it onto that. So we've got a small weather window right now where it's not raining. So I've actually pulled the Mustang out of the garage because I got to do a repair on this before. I haven't even got the snowplow blade yet. I'm going to go buy it now. But I got to do a repair on this. I'll show you. This little truck has been a workhorse, and it really does need some love. Once I get my new shop built, I'm probably going to have to give this thing some TLC. It is starting to get a little bit rough. Looks cool from 10 feet, but as you get closer, it's getting rough. But the other day I was driving it, and the rear hood, if you will, was completely hanging down, and the latch, which is got in my hand, was laying on it. How it never fell out and went on the road, I don't know, but you'll see this piece right here, the aluminum blocks attached to this is supposed to be welded into the bottom of the bed, and it broke off. So I am going to have to weld this back on, this little plate here, so that I can get this strap off and, you know, get this thing somewhat usable again. And then we're gonna go to the store and buy a snowplow blade. So looking up underneath, you can see that hole right there that I've got to try to, this is not gonna be easy. I'm gonna have to grind away a little bit, get some clean metal, try to weld that, and then paint it so it doesn't rust. Okay, so fast forward, and there you go. It's fixed. I won't show you my welds because I'm not a welder. Let's just say some grinding was involved. I was gonna put the Mustang back in the garage, but the kid's coming to do an oil change, so I'll let him do it in there. And then the Mustang goes away. And then I'm heading to get a plow. All right, so this is what I picked up. It's a blade that's extendable from 47 to 59 inches. I thought I might want to make it smaller in case the blade's too large. I don't have the traction. But yeah, it's for an ATV or a UTV. So we're gonna see if we can mount this thing on here. And I bought this little tube that I'm gonna weld on, but I think this might be too short because I want to have it protrude somewhere. I might have to relocate my license plate for this, but yeah, it's gonna go somewhere down here. All right, hopefully that rain noise isn't too loud. Let's unbox and see what we got. All right, looks like a pretty nice kit actually. So you got the blade and a couple of extenders for each side that you can put on to make the blade wider if you want. The blade mounts onto here. You can adjust your angle of the blade by pulling this little lever and swiveling it. And then this, of course, attaches to the truck, and it's got these plates that the arm will mount onto. So what I'm hoping actually is that I can find a way to just weld these plates onto the front of the truck that can be easily detached. That would be ideal. And then I don't have to worry about welding a trailer hitch on. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to end up taking this whole bumper off with the winch and everything. That is going to be a pain in the butt. My plan to be able to lift and lower the blade is actually just use my winch, just hook it up to the top of the blade, and with my remote control, it's a wired remote control that plugs in here, just have that go up through the window, and then I can operate the plow, raising and lowering it just with my little winch up and down. So we'll see. I don't know how much I'm gonna get to do today. It is absolutely boring. It is not a day that I'm going to be pulling the Mustang out of the shop so I can get my welder out and everything, but maybe I'll start dismantling some stuff on here. All right, so basically this is going to be pretty easy. This plate here is what needs to be mounted on the bottom of the truck, and then you just bolt, I don't know if it's pins or bolts, those little ears go into these two slots here. So if you look under the sandbar, this here is you got your skid plate, and then this here is the bottom of your front of your chassis. It's like a crossover piece or something, but it's welded hard onto your chassis. This, now of course I have a 2-inch body lift on mine, so my bumper is sitting up higher. This normally wouldn't be flush like this. If you look, it is like flush with the bottom of my plastic bumper. If I can weld this plate right to the bottom of that right there, that's all I need to do. And then I can just hook up my my winch to these, or sorry, my plow to these things here, and that'll be the end of it. So I basically just have to weld onto the bottom of this bar right here. But again, I'm not gonna be able to do that today. It's too wet. All right, I had to take a break. The wind really picked up. I had to put some straps on my tent with some blocks to keep it from blowing away. And the rain has stopped, but the wind is really starting to pick up. In fact, I think I can hear an air sea rescue helicopter out there in the ocean right now. So could be some boat in distress because this wind really did come out of nowhere. But all that said, I got this I got this put together. Nice little unit, actually. I like it. But I've just got to get that plate welded on the bottom of the sandbar. And you know, if the rain holds off, maybe I'll go for it here. So I kind of mocked it up to see. I just got a block of wood holding the arms up, but that's what it's going to look like. And yeah, you can see how I got the winch cable down to the middle part there. So that winch will definitely lift that up so that I can drive around. I may even have some kind of a locking pin that I can lift it up so much with the winch cable, and then have some, well, like an eye on here or something that can go on here with a bar that would just sort of lock it in place. You're not relying on the winch the whole time to hold it up. But yeah, that is very cool. And of course, this is my little winch controller here. So that thing will work no problem. I can just snake that through the window and be able to winch up and down when I'm plowing. I'm becoming more and more enthused. With this plate, welding it on the bottom, I'm not the best welder. And my welder, I do have a 220 welder, a gas welder, and it's okay. I am leaning towards actually taking this to a local company. We got a 4x4 shop that they do all kinds of modification, building rock crawlers, all kinds of stuff. But I think I'm going to take this plate there and just have them weld it to the bottom. Then I know it'll be square. It'll be solid because they can put some gussets in there and whatnot to make it strong. And then I can just basically bolt this thing on. So I am leaning towards getting that done. Kind of cheating, but it's just going to make my life so much easier just to get this plate welded on. All right, it is the next day, and look up. Blue sky, no rain. It's actually going to be nice all day. Got my beard trimmed, so I'm looking somewhat human again. And, you know, I thought about this little truck, and you know what? To heck with it. I'm going to put that plate on myself. I did actually book an appointment with this other place, but it was going to be 2 weeks, and I don't want to wait 2 weeks. I want to get it done today. So I'm finishing this snowplow install today. I have got the truck in the garage all jacked up. Got the welder plugged in, and let's see. This is the bar right here that I'll scrape some paint off there, clean it off. So I got some bare metal. I got to trim this skid plate a little bit, and yeah, let's get that welded on. So because I'm welding this flat plate onto a round pipe, I'm going to cut 4 spots here and then bend this tab, what'll be left here, so that it'll reach the side of the pipe basically, and I can weld it on the side, and that'll keep the plate, kind of act like a gusset and keep it from rotating. You'll see once I get it on here. I bent those up. I also cut this centerpiece out because that is going to allow me to have access to this bolt here to take the skid pan off. I got the skid pan off right now just for, it's easy to get at everything here, but this should now basically will fit like that on there. I can weld through those holes into the bottom and weld onto the sides there. And yeah, that'll give me, I think that'll give me all the strength I need. So next thing you do is just grind a bit more paint off of here, get some paint off of this, and start welding. All right, I got this tacked on, but you can see how where these come up, I'll be able to weld around here. I'll be able to weld on each one of these, which is perfect because then, except for this one, this has got a drain hole from the frame, but that'll little spot weld should do it. And then maybe a little bit up here, and anywhere I can get a weld in, I'll put it in. But it's a lot of welding to do for me, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully I don't light myself on fire. All right, I got the welding all done. Saved myself paying someone to do it. Turned out pretty good, actually. I'm pretty happy. I'll show you. So when you're looking at the front of the truck, all you see, which is coming down from the bottom, is that. Go underneath here. That's underneath. I basically welded all these holes. I just painted it. And I tacked some stuff welded along here. Oops, hang on, let me get the camera here. Welded here, here. Kind of hard to get to, but these ones should stop it from rotating. These ones should be hopefully good enough that'll, you know, hold that blade if I stuff it into a curb or something, but time will tell. I also forgot to mention that I had to cut out a notch in the skid plate. This corner here was actually going into it a little bit, so I just had to take my zip wheel and do that. I'll touch that up with a bit of paint, bolt that back in, and then let's hook this up. Okay, let's drop this truck down and we'll put the blade on. Looks like it might be a little heavy with that angle. I don't know how it works. Look at the truck go down. Well, I'd call that a success. It's a little tough on the bumper, but I think it's going to be okay. All right, so I got the plow disconnected now, sitting down here in the bottom part of my driveway, ready for the snow. Hopefully we get some snow this year, but you know what? Now that I went and put a plow on this thing, we probably won't get any snow. A couple months maybe, but if we do, I will be filming that because that's going to be pretty fun for me to actually plow this driveway, which, as you saw, I need a plow for this driveway. So if you've got a Sambar, I think it's really easy to put on this truck because of the cross member that goes on the front there. I don't know about the Honda Atke or the Suzuki Carry or the Hijet. Those are unibodies, so I don't know that they're going to be as easy. But if you've got a Sambar, hey, putting a snowplow on it was super easy. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, think about subscribing because you'll know when we get snow and I get to play with this thing. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Have yourself a great day.